Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you're doing everything you were told to do. You went to school, you found a stable job, you work full-time, you pay your bills. Maybe you even own a home. Yet somehow, every year feels harder than the last. The paycheck disappears faster. The savings account barely grows. One unexpected expense can throw your entire life off balance. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. For generations, the American middle class was considered the backbone of the country's economy. It represented stability, opportunity, and the belief that if you worked hard, you could build a comfortable life for your family. But today, millions of Americans are beginning to wonder if that promise still exists. Because while the economy continues to grow on paper, many families feel like they're moving backward. So what happened? Why does it seem like the middle class is slowly disappearing? And more importantly, what does that mean for your financial future? Stay until the end, because the biggest reason isn't what most people think, and understanding it could completely change how you approach money. For decades after World War II, the American dream felt attainable. Manufacturing jobs paid well. Homes were relatively affordable. College tuition was manageable. A single income could often support an entire household. Many families bought homes in their 20s, raised children, took vacations, and retired with pensions. It wasn't perfect, but for millions of people, upward mobility was real. The middle class expanded rapidly, becoming one of the strongest economic forces in the world. But economies don't stay the same forever. Technology changed industries. Global competition increased. Manufacturing moved overseas. Automation replaced many routine jobs. Little by little, the foundation supporting many middle-class careers began to shift. Most people didn't notice it happening all at once. It happened slowly. One factory closed. Another company outsourced jobs. Another business automated part of its workforce. Each change seemed small. Together, they transformed the job market. But this is where things get interesting. The disappearance of the middle class isn't just about jobs. It's about purchasing power. Imagine receiving a 5% raise. At first, that sounds like progress. But if housing, groceries, healthcare, insurance, and childcare all increase by more than 5%, are you actually better off? Not really. Your income increased, but your buying power decreased. This is one of the biggest financial challenges facing many households today. People often focus on how much they earn. The more important question is what that income can actually buy. And for many Americans, the answer is less than it did a generation ago. Housing offers one of the clearest examples. In many cities, home prices have risen much faster than wages over the past several decades. Rent has also become a larger share of monthly income for many families. The result? People spend more just to secure a place to live, leaving less money available for investing, saving, or preparing for retirement. However, there is one problem nobody talks about. Higher housing costs create a chain reaction. If more income goes toward housing, there's less available for education, emergencies, healthcare, or building wealth. The cycle becomes difficult to escape. Then there's debt. Debt itself isn't always bad. Businesses use loans to expand. Homebuyers often use mortgages responsibly. Students may borrow to invest in education. But consumer debt has become an increasingly common part of everyday life. Credit cards, auto loans, personal loans, buy now, pay later services. These products make purchases feel affordable today, but tomorrow arrives with interest. Many households find themselves making monthly payments on decisions they made years ago. Instead of investing for the future, a growing portion of income goes towards servicing debt. The biggest mistake comes next. Many people respond to financial pressure by increasing their lifestyle whenever their income grows. A promotion leads to a bigger car. A raise leads to a more expensive apartment. Higher income creates higher monthly expenses. Before long, the extra money disappears. This is known as lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the quietest wealth killers in modern America. Most people assume wealthy families simply earn dramatically more money. Sometimes that's true, but income tells only part of the story. The real difference often lies in ownership. Middle-class households typically rely on earned income. They exchange time for money. If work stops, income often stops too. Wealthy households are more likely to own appreciating assets. Stocks, businesses, real estate, investments that have the potential to grow over time. These assets can continue creating value regardless of how many hours someone works. Most people don't realize this difference early enough. They spend decades focusing only on earning more. Meanwhile, those who consistently acquire productive assets gradually build wealth that works independently of their daily labor. That's one of the hidden rules many people never learn in school. Education remains one of the best long-term investments a person can make. But the cost of higher education has changed dramatically over time. Many graduates begin their careers carrying significant student loan balances. Instead of investing their first paychecks, they spend years repaying debt. This doesn't mean education isn't valuable. It means every financial decision deserves careful consideration. Choosing a career with strong earning potential, understanding borrowing costs, and continuing to develop valuable skills can all make a meaningful difference. Because in today's economy, learning rarely ends after graduation. Skills become outdated, industries evolve, technology changes. Those who continue learning often place themselves in a stronger position to adapt. But this is where things get even more surprising. The middle class isn't disappearing equally everywhere. Some industries continue creating well-paying opportunities. Healthcare, engineering, cybersecurity, skilled trades, advanced manufacturing. Certain technology fields, workers who develop specialized, in-demand skills often enjoy greater income stability than those in declining industries. The lesson isn't that one career guarantees wealth. Nothing does. It's that flexibility has become one of the most valuable financial assets anyone can possess. The ability to learn, adapt, solve problems, and create value. Those qualities become increasingly important in a changing economy. Another hidden force reshaping the middle class is inflation. Inflation simply means the general cost of goods and services rises over time. Some inflation is considered normal in a growing economy. The challenge appears when wages fail to keep pace. Imagine saving the same amount every year while everyday expenses continue climbing. Your savings may grow, but their purchasing power can shrink. That's why many long-term investors choose diversified investments designed to outpace inflation over time. Of course, investing always carries risk. Markets rise and fall. Returns are never guaranteed. But understanding how inflation affects money helps explain why simply keeping cash under a mattress rarely builds long-term wealth. Perhaps the biggest difference between financially successful people and everyone else isn't intelligence. It's behavior. Many people know they should budget, save, invest consistently, avoid unnecessary debt. Yet knowledge alone doesn't create results. Habits do. Small decisions repeated over many years shape financial outcomes. Skipping one unnecessary purchase won't make someone wealthy overnight. But consistently living below your means while investing regularly can produce remarkable results over decades. It isn't exciting, it isn't flashy, but it has helped countless families gradually build financial security. So, is the American middle class disappearing? In many ways, it's changing. The traditional path that worked for previous generations no longer guarantees the same outcome. The economy has evolved, the cost of living has changed. Technology continues reshaping the workforce. That doesn't mean financial success is impossible. It means the rules have changed. Today's opportunities often reward ownership over consumption, adaptability over routine, long-term thinking over short-term gratification. Those willing to understand these new rules place themselves in a much stronger position than those relying on outdated assumptions. The future belongs to people who continue learning, invest in valuable skills, manage debt carefully, and consistently build assets over time. No single decision will transform your finances overnight, but thousands of good decisions can. The middle class may be facing enormous challenges, yet your financial future is still influenced by the choices you make today. You can't control inflation. You can't control the economy. You can't control interest rates, but you can control your spending habits, your willingness to learn, your ability to invest consistently, and your commitment to thinking long-term. Those choices may not grab headlines, but they often determine who merely survives and who gradually builds lasting wealth. Because in the end, wealth isn't built through one lucky break. It's built through patience, discipline, ownership, and understanding the rules that many people never stop to question. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more videos about money, investing, and building wealth.